fires, I just want to share something with you. Okay, in like mechanical engineering school, they will tell you that all machines are based on uh, three basic machines, and that's supposed to be the wheel, the lever, and the fulcrum. Okay? Now, if I want to modify that, if I want to add one more principle, one more thing, you're looking at it right here. String. Now, I know what you're saying. What is this piece of string? I mean, this is nothing. What are you talking about? I'm going to tell you right now, this piece of string has more uses than a Swiss Army knife, and it can do so much as save a life through a tourniquet and a splint, or a sling. And it can also take a life. It can be used as a weapon or as a means of, we'll say, asphyxiating somebody, taking life from someone. But, you know, we don't want to get all morbid and everything. But before we get to this fire, I'm going to show you how a good way to use this string to collect firewood. Now, every time I do something with this string, I'm going to make a point to give it a little cameo to let you see just how useful a piece of string is. Now, I added these little things here, you know, like little cinching points. It's not necessary. If all you have is a string, you can tie a lasso easy enough. But okay, I'm going to show you the uses of it right now. What we're going to do now is collect wood before we make the fire, and I'm going to show you as we go. Say you come across a large piece of wood, long, heavy, awkward, and you really don't know how to handle it. Well, you lay the string down. You take a piece of what you're trying to move, and you lay it across the string like so. Next, you simply take the string. You're going to put it through the hole. You know, it's just like a noose, a lasso, however you want to look at it. You're going to go through like so. Get it real tight. Once you cinch it down, you're going to come over here and find another piece of wood, something like this, you know, that you can like hold on to. You're going to put it inside the string, go through, and now it's just like lifting weights. You grab this, wherever you pull, this piece of string this string is going to take this big old piece of wood with you, and it's going to take little to no effort at all. You just simply drag this mother wherever you need it to go. Now that's the first use. Keep that in mind. Application number 2, you're simply gonna lay the string out like so, and you're just gonna start stacking wood inside the string itself. Okay, it doesn't matter how long, see that big piece right there, or how short. You're just gonna stack everything in the center of that string. I'm gonna show you the end result. Okay, so basically you're loading everything you need in between the string. Okay, so now when you're ready to move out, you're gonna do the same principle. You're gonna take the piece of the string, you're going to take it through the loop, like so, and you're going to cinch it. Now, this isn't that heavy, so I don't have that other piece that I usually use when I'm dragging something, so that the string doesn't cut through your fingers, but it's really not necessary. But all you got to do is just grab it like this, and wherever you go, you can carry a whole pile of firewood, or, you know, kindling, however you want to call it, just with a piece of string. I mean, you can tame a bushel of wood. You do this, you know, several times, and you're going to have enough firewood to get you through the night. And it's this simple. You don't have to worry about anything dragging or how long it is or how heavy it is. You simply cinch it and go. Okay. Okay. Fire starting 101. Check this out. Contrary to popular belief, okay, gravity works on elements as well. Well, what do I mean? Well, from the principle of a black hole in space, where the gravitational pull of a black hole is so intense and so strong that not even light can escape, okay? And in that frame of mind, you can understand how gravity also works on fire as well. So you can say anywhere up to 40% of the heat of a flame is being sucked back down to the earth, okay, through gravity. Now, is the earth flammable? No. Therefore, why do you want to build a fire on top of the earth, on top of something that can't burn? All right? So, this is what you have here first. Most people, and I've heard a million times, will tell me, August, you're making the fire backwards. The big stuff is not going to burn, blah, blah, blah. What I tell them is, look at the big stuff as being no more than earth. You got to build the fire on top of something, correct? Why not build the fire on top of something that's combustible? Hence, the wood, the logs that are underneath. Now, look at this wood here as being the floor, okay? Look at the wood as being the earth. Don't look at it in terms of me trying to set a wet log on fire, because it's not the way it's going to work. This is the first layer. So the first layer is simply the ground layer, a combustible ground layer that's going to be able to draw the heat of the flame on top of it, okay? So that way gravity can work with us. And this wood is wet. Therefore, when I start to build the fire on top of this wood, in a matter of time, through the use of gravity, okay, this wood is going to dry out, and then it will initially begin to burn, okay, which is what we're looking for. So this is the first layer. Big, thick pieces of wood. Alright, and as I begin to build more, I'm going to let you know. And one good thing about building on top of this is because you're not on ground level, air can circulate. Oxygen makes flames. It's just that simple. So you see all the cracks in the wood and so forth. So when I begin to build on top of all of this, it's going to breathe well and it's going to burn hot. Alright. So now when you take another look, you have three layers here. You have the principal layer, which is the meat, the big stuff, the stuff that's really not going to burn. We're not even paying no attention to it. That's like the earth, except it is combustible. Okay? Next we have the medium layer, all right? And then in between that we have the little twigs. Now, the best fire starter in the world, okay, short of man-made accelerants, are dry leaves. All these leaves around here, that ain't nothing but straight fire starter. Unfortunately, it did rain. It's still kind of moist, but I'm still gonna use them. And how do I know what leaves to use? Listen, you hear that crackling sound? That means that those leaves are dry enough to actually use and start a fire. So I'm gonna liberally, spray this little thing right here, this mound, with leaves before I set it on fire. Okay, out here. At this point, the principle is straightforward. You set the fire on top, the little things will start to burn, and as the coals start to drop, where they would normally drop to the earth and then, burn out, they're going to drop into more wood, drying the wood, so forth. Before you know it, you're going to have a pretty good bonfire on your hands. Alright, fire starting 101, out here. There you have it. Alright, as far as other uses for the string, you're going to be in your campsite. Here's your campsite. You need a place to put your pack. You just find a tree. Pick up a rock. Put the rock to the tree. Wrap the string around the rock. Okay? You're going to cinch it here on the end. Now you got a sturdy string tied to the tree. The rock is going to give you the little lip you need to put your thing through. Remember when I told you about the D-ring? Okay, I'm going to clip it to the string, and then I'm going to let you see what I'm talking about as far as the end result goes. Once you clip the pack, the rock falls to the ground, and what you have is a secured pack to the tree. That pack is not going nowhere, and that rope will not break. Keep in mind, this is at least 40 pounds. And the weight of the pack is going to keep the string from going off the tree. And you're good to go. Pack it up just in case it rains. Bam. Okay? Keep in mind, that string, dude, I can do this all day long showing you different things. But if I remember, as we go through, every time I use something, I'm going to show you how good that string can actually work. And keep in mind, you really don't need these. I just do it because it gives me a little, leverage to work with it without tying knots and whatnot, or slip knots and stuff. This just makes it a little bit easier. So, out here. As you can see, the fire is doing fine. It's doing exactly what I wanted to do. I continue to feed it up top. The gravity's pulling the heat down to the bottom. And if I never feed this again, I'm going to have nothing but hot coals on those big old pieces of log that's sticking out here. And at that point, I can just start putting logs and trees on top of this fire, and it's going to burn all night long if I wanted to. So keep that in mind. Out here. One second. I wanted to show you this. Now you saw how when I started the fire I had 5 big logs. Look at that. Everything has been burned down to pretty much embers. This was probably the biggest piece I had. So just remember, when you're building the fires, to put all the big stuff on the bottom, build on top, and then you're going to have coals that'll burn the rest of the night. Alright. This is where it gets real. The proverbial crossing of the threshold. When you cross this road and go up there on the approach trail, the Appalachian Trail, Springer Mountain, 7.5 miles, this is where you got to ask yourself, if you can't make this trek right here, or based on the degree of difficulty on this trek, whether or not you're ready to do this trail or not. I've seen many people finish their hike right here on the approach trail. So This is where the rubber hits the trail, or the road hits the trail. You know the saying. Out here. Understand, this is the approach trail. And notice the gradual, or should I say not so gradual, rate of ascent as you climb going through. Okay? And you come through here, and all you see is a lot of rocks, roots, and pretty much hills as you're going up. That's pretty much what you have to see throughout the whole base of the approach trail. A lot of roots, a lot of rocks, and not necessarily gradual elevation, but just straight inclines, like 6%, 4%, 6%. And like I said, that could be a rude awakening for a lot of people. So I'm really not going to give you a lot of footage on the approach trail, not until I get like maybe, I don't know, 20 yards from the actual Springer Mountain itself. But I just want to give you a taste. I mean, it's really not necessarily an easy trek. But as you can see, this road right here, that's a service road. If you ever come on the approach trail and it starts to kick your butt, just get on the service trail and just follow your nose. Or the signs, however. I couldn't tell you north, south, east, or west right now because I don't have my bearings. But there you have it. August here. Check this out. There are two ways to acclimate, okay? Physically, as far as, well, we'll just say internally and externally. Externally has to do with, physical, learning the trail, getting your hiker legs. Internally is this right here. I'm sucking on a stick. What this does is all the microorganisms and so forth that are in this area, and it really has to do with the water source. I'm acclimating my body to them by sucking on a common branch in this region. It'll help my body to adjust to the water since I don't use a filter and I use bleach whenever, but nothing is 100%. By doing it this way, I'm allowing my body to adapt little by little, because when you think about it, everything is cellular and then it goes on to be microscopic and then it goes on to be atomic. So really, the way the body works, the body being the beautiful machine that I've always speak to you about, this is one way to do it. Every week or ever so often, especially when you change states, when you see the foliage change, take something and put it in your mouth, okay? It's not like somebody peed on it. It's not like the New York subway station. It's germs, yeah, but it's good germs, things that you're gonna need.